It's mid-August, and we've been crazy busy getting out cameras in Iowa, Georgia, Illinois, and then got into fall plot season in Iowa, so got all those in. So all we about have left is to get down to Kansas and put out those cameras. So Nick and I are headed down to Kansas today, and probably tomorrow we're going to be putting out cameras over some big tine, hopefully start getting some inventory, what bucks we have over there. So we got multiple people with gun tags, and then depending on what shows up and schedules, we may go down there early season with cash during their youth season. So it's gonna be a fun time down there. So we're gonna get down there, kind of do a little prep work, get some cameras out, and get everything situated there. So it should be a good couple days. Excited to see what's showing up down there. How was your first
Freddy's did it great.
And they talked you into a custard too. What'd you get?
Don't ask me to drive. The old Brownie Delight.
Brownie Delight.
Pretty rich. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to eat it though.
So we're gonna come out here, just pull cameras. They're still out from fall. This is actually the field that David, me, and Jeff all killed out of last year during gun season. It was just a hot alfalfa field. They were just piling out of that CRP grass coming out here, and it looks beautiful right now. So I'm sure they're coming out here tonight. Probably have one of us sit out here and scout tonight and see what's coming out here. It'll probably be like a zoo. Alright, so this field is what we call Cash's field. It's where Cash killed his first ever turkey. Came up over that levee and just came right into the decoys. Super fun hunt. This is actually where Dustin killed his deer last year. David killed an old buck here a few years ago as well. So I just love this alfalfa field. It's tucked in here. It's got CRP on both sides, or on two of the sides, and on the back side is the river. So it's just dynamite. They just come out here from all three directions. So awesome field. Alright, we got the cameras all pulled yesterday and checked, cards cleared, and so today we're gonna put them back out. Got some big tine we're gonna put out, and we should start getting inventory of these deer. So it's an exciting time. We sat last night and filmed velvets, and the amount of bucks we saw was just crazy. So I'm excited to see what else is out there, and that was just one night of sitting. Let's get after it.
typically the best way to get inventory here is over big tine, no doubt, and it's legal in Kansas, so that's good. So usually that's where we run most of our cameras, but then there's also great transition points to where they come in and out of these little strips of timber that are great for cameras. But since we're not here as much as the other farms, typically best way to get inventory is over big tine. So we'll do that, and then we'll be putting a couple cameras just on transition areas, going to and from these little strips of timber. So that's our setup. So because it's so open out here, sometimes finding a perfect place for a tree stand is really tough. The trees are few and far between, and the ones that are just huge cottonwoods that sometimes you can't get in. So there's some that we got some stands in certain spots, but it can be tough because there's not too many options. So a lot of times forces us to be in box blinds or get creative, moving some blinds around and sit out on the food and let them come out to you. So another tough thing that makes it tough to hunt out here is in the mornings, like all your deer are out on the food, which is where we have to come in and access. So access can be tough, and hunting mornings can be really tough. So you don't want to bust all the deer out. Now there are a few spots that we can slide in on the edge of the property and almost get back into the creek and catch them coming back to bed, which can be really good. But for the most part, it's like we're kind of limited to evenings, with them deer coming out to food. Otherwise, they'll just come in here and bust them out of the river. Alright, so this little place is a little transition along this wood line where they kind of cut through this cottonwood. Typically this time of year, like when we're running our bogs, when they're overfeeders, I'll typically run my delay on like 60 seconds, a full minute, just because they're standing there and they're eating. We'll leave our sensitivity on low, because it's not like you're just trying to catch them walking by, really. Most of the time they're going to go there and stand. So, and since we're not here a ton, typically run 32 gig cards on all our things, so they don't fill up quick. So typically we'll run a 60-second delay on all these with one photo, just because most of the time they're going to stand there for quite a while, and you don't want just tons of pictures of does just standing there eating. Plus, since we're not here all the time, we don't want it to fill up the SD card quick and then not be getting any pictures anymore. So that's kind of the settings that we set up on this. Now when we start running stuff strictly on travel, then we'll run like a 2-shot multi-shot, or even pics plus video sometimes, especially if they're on a scrape, with a 15-second delay, just because a lot of times, it's not like they're stopping at a bait pile. They're coming by working a scrape or walking through on a transition, so you want to get the few pictures that you can while they're walking by. So that's usually how we set up the cameras in different situations. So one other thing that we do when you're looking at pictures, instead of trying to guess, man, where was that camera, on these bogs, you can name each one. So we go through and name it based on its location. That way when we're looking through pictures, it shows up on the name strip. We know exactly where it's at. A lot of this stuff out here looks the same background, so you'll be looking through pictures and trying to guess, where was this picture, or where was this camera. So that's one thing that we do, and that makes it a lot easier on the backside when we're flipping through pictures. So on this particular spot, we're actually putting out 2 cameras. We only have like a handful of main areas here, and since we're not here a ton and deer's transitioning from summer patterns to fall patterns, we typically won't just put them out in random spots. And then also one benefit of running 2 cameras here in some of these spots is just because since we're not here all the time, if one gets tore up or runs out of battery or a card fills, you always kind of have that backup one, so you don't come back and don't have the last month's worth of photos. So that's what we're doing here. This is absolutely deadly spot, probably the most deadly spot on the farm. Excited to see what's here.